FiyahKitteh.
And hello everybody, SlimKirby here.
And welcome to a nice little special of this thing you might have heard of, E3.
Yes, the Electronic Expo. Oh, Entertainment Expo. That's right.
Slim just saved his bacon. Alright.
Yeah, I love bacon.
Alright, this will be the part about Microsoft, or, excuse me, how they called themselves, Xbox.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't really call them the Microsoft conference this year. They called it the Xbox conference, which that does make sense because they only talked about Xbox. So
for once.
For once, yes.
Alright. So, this whole thing was about 1 hour and 40, and they promised you 13 unique titles, like Xbox unique.
Yes.
That way. And they opened with a nice little trailer. At first I thought it was, I don't know. I pretty much looked at it and I'm like, is that Ocelot? Looks like Ocelot. But nah, it can't be, right? It's Red Dead Redemption, clearly.
Yeah.
But hey, it happens to be Ocelot, and it happened to be a Metal Gear Solid title.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Yes, or how we call it, Red Dead Redemption, The Phantom Pain.
Yes.
Because it was literally, it looked like it.
Yeah, it really did. Like, just in that little first brief gaming clips, it seriously reminded me of Red Dead Redemption. Yeah,
pretty much. And they were talking about Afghanistan, I believe.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much what it's, or parts of where it's gonna be, what it's gonna be about.
Mm-hmm. And
they used this catch line that went, tactical espionage redefined.
Ooh.
And I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because like my college used that education redefined for theirs. So it's like, I guess just a means of saying, well, we're going to take this and redefine it. We're going to remap it. We're going to make it unique and make it new and all this. So.
Right. However, they did promise a very open world.
Mm-hmm.
And something that really caught my attention, they said there was going to be a real-time weather.
Yeah, they did say that.
That's actually interesting. Mm-hmm. And also realistic passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, so this is like Animal Crossing, maybe?
Metal Gear Solid Animal Crossing Edition. No.
Yes, with Red Dead Redemption.
Or with Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm guessing like, and we'll get into this later obviously too, they mention a lot of stuff about how certain games will pass like time while you're not playing. That's what I'm guessing they kind of were meaning by that. How exactly it'll play into that game, I guess we'll find out later. And as we keep getting more information about it.
Yeah. But it was a pretty good opening trailer or something to like, you know, a good eye catcher anyways.
Yeah.
They also promised a dynamic CQC, so combat. And they did a character introduction, like it was a pretty long trailer actually.
Yeah, it was.
And it looked pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Actually. Very nice.
It really did. Like, the one image that kind of took me was when Snake started riding his horse when the actual gameplay started. It looked really damn realistic. It looked like an actual horse. It didn't look like a polygon or a pixelated horse of any kind. It looked really realistic, and the environments looked amazing. The combat looked realistic too from the very brief moments we saw of that. So yeah, I was really impressed. That was a really great opener, and it looks to be it's going to be a great title too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Plus, when the trailer was over, they had Mr. Kojima talk to the audience really quickly in English.
Ooh, yay, English.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Good opener.
Very good opener, definitely.
So, yeah. Then they pretty much, did you want to say anything more to that?
Not really about Metal Gear Solid, but
okay.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Well, then I went over to the Xbox 360 titles.
Yes.
Mr. Yusuf Mehdi. I don't know him, but
Yeah.
hi. So they made some upgrades, or you can have an upgrade to your normal Xbox 360, and they used the words smaller, quieter, and sleeker. So that they also showed a picture.
Yeah.
People were whistling and applauding, I guess.
Yeah. I will say something about that really quickly. Another thing they mentioned about the new upgrade design is that it's basically a new Xbox 360 to look a lot more like the Xbox One that's supposed to come out. And I'm personally not a big fan of releasing like such a close design to this new console they're bringing, so close to the new console's release. And like I think a lot of other companies are guilty of that too, not just Microsoft. But I don't know, wouldn't you think that they'd want to keep their money for the actual new console instead of actually buy something that's gonna look like it but it won't actually have all the bells and whistles? Like I don't know, that just seems a little weird to me.
I don't know, I find it weird anyways. I mean, if you already have an Xbox 360, why would you buy another one? Just because it looks nice?
Yeah. What, did they finally fix the Red Ring of Death or something? Or?
They actually didn't say anything about it, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah. And like they have that Xbox 360 Slim as well, so it's like, I don't know, do you really need all of these different redesigns? Like, I don't know.
Personally, I don't, but...
Yeah.
Alright. And then they pretty much started talking about the gold membership.
Yeah.
You know? And apparently it carries over to the Xbox One, so that's pretty cool. That's what I thought anyway. And you get 2 free games, or 2 free game downloads per month, apparently. On top of that, if you already had a gold membership. 2 titles they mentioned were Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3, right?
Yeah, Halo 3. And hey, I'm an Xbox Live Gold member. I can appreciate that. 2 free downloads. That's good. Give me some more games to play. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't have a gold membership or even an Xbox, but I'm assuming that anybody who has one would appreciate that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Then they showed 3 small titles that weren't counted to those 13, I guess.
Yeah, for Xbox 360.
Yeah, because those were 360 titles. They showed World of Tanks, and it was presented by a guy named Victor Kisley. Just so I like mentioning the people.
Yeah.
Just so we know who was there. It's a free-to-play title for gold membership people, anyways, and it comes out this summer. It's basically just, well, it just was a tank game where you just shoot each other, pretty much.
Yeah. And I guess they also mentioned how it's a title that I guess is very popular in the online world, on the PC world, I guess. So they built it for the Xbox 360, which that's pretty cool. They did the same thing with Minecraft, so I can kind of see why they would do that.
Then from Press Play, we had a title called Max: The Curse of Brotherhood. There was a little nice trailer, and during this whole time I was wondering if, for people who have Steam anyways, and who have seen this title, there's a game about Max and the Magic Marker. They looked very alike. I don't know if it's from the same series. It kind of looked like it, but I can't like guarantee it.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. The trailer was kind of short, so it's not like you could see a lot. You did actually see markers in that trailer where you could draw stuff, so that made me think even more that those 2 titles are maybe related. I don't know if you guys want to make your own judgment.
Yeah, it looked like a platforming game, so it looks to be interesting. So
marker elements where you can just draw stuff so you can progress and stuff.
But yeah, they didn't really show a whole lot. In fact, I believe the trailer started with them showing their company, like just the camera going through their like working offices more than the actual game.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting, so maybe we'll get more information on that. So.
Okay. And then I mentioned Dark Souls 2, which, well, it looked like I don't really know the series personally, but it was pretty much a nice hack and slash.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty good, honestly, and I think anybody who's got an Xbox 360 might like it. Okay.
And that's pretty much it for all the Xbox 360 titles. They spent a lot of time, which I'm guessing this is what everyone wanted, and they definitely delivered on that on the Xbox One, which is Microsoft's new console that's coming very, very soon.
Yep. So pretty much that was just a little bit for people who still have the Xbox or still are gonna have the Xbox 360.
Like me, so.
And then they moved over to the Xbox One, Mr. Phil Spencer.
Yes.
And they showed some nice titles throughout here. One of them being Ryse, Son of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Which they showed this trailer with a little combat pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like there's gonna be lots of QuickTime events.
Yeah.
That was I'm like, oh yay, one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really bringing a lot of those games with those QuickTime events, but I can see why. It kind of makes you feel a little like you're involved and something really serious is going down and you need to prevent it from happening, or you can do this super cool move if you press the button in time. So yeah,
They actually showed at one point in the trailer they showed a huge rock falling down on somebody, and I was almost surprised they didn't make a QuickTime event out of that. So
yeah, avoid the rock.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, what? They did not? Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it reminded me a lot of almost like a crossover between Sparta and God of War, maybe.
Yeah, I really did. Yeah.
This is Sparta.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it's supposed to be you're playing this Roman guy, basically. Yeah.
One thing I think that was really cool about that was they showed at one point like all of your soldiers lined up moving forward to avoid this like wall of arrows, and like you actually respond to the other soldiers yelling out like arrows, their arrows are coming, and you have to actually put your shields up, and and depending on how worse or how bad or how good you do in that event, like you'll have like less soldiers if you don't do as good, but if you keep going you'll have a lot of soldiers. I think that'll probably play a big part in that game as well, that kind of gameplay.
Yeah, they pretty much showed quite a bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was also little quests at the bottom always, like, go there and there, do this and that.
Little mission objectives.
Yeah, like that. Is this one of those titles that comes out at launch, I believe?
Yes, it's exclusive for the Xbox One at launch.
It comes out at launch, so there you go, you have something to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that one company still, Crytek.
Crytek. Ha 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 ha.
Mr. Savatierli. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing was, unless you wanted to say anything.
I have nothing else to say about Ryse, but I'll go ahead and mention this next title.
Right.
Killer Instinct is actually back. It's been at least 10 years since like the last title. It was an old 2D fighter that was on the Super NES and N64, and they brought it back for the Xbox One, and it looks pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie, my first thought when they showed the first few seconds of footage, I'm like, is this Street Fighter or something? Mortal Kombat?
I knew it was Killer Instinct right away because I saw the KI icon flash immediately. But yeah, it does look a lot like Street Fighter, but
I don't really know the Killer Instinct series, so it was
pretty much all those 2D fighters look the same though.
Pretty much.
I don't blame you one bit.
Well, so much for Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Then it had a nice little game. There was Ted Price from Insomniac, my god, and talk. Another Xbox One exclusive title, Sunset Overdrive, which had a weird freaking trailer. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They mentioned something along the lines of a shooter that changes. And ironically, the guy in the trailer looked a lot like the spokesperson.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. In a way, but also kind of cool. And I don't know, they didn't say a whole lot, but from what it looks like, I'm almost thinking it's an online title. A multiplayer online title.
Yeah, because in the trailer they had a lot of characters that had like little name tags or gamer tags in this case over their heads, and yeah, it looks like a fairly interesting online title, and it's a shooter that changes.
Yeah, and apparently can make some really crazy weapons.
Yeah, like a gun loaded with a soda can.
Yep.
I believe that's what they had in there.
Yep. And there's a lot of comic elements in there. I remember when the explosion happened, when you shot that said gun.
Yeah.
They had those the freaking smoke, it had kabooms in it. It's kind of like comic-esque.
Yeah.
So, yeah, was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yeah, looking to see more about that game.
Oh boy, next title, big one.
Yes, and I know how much you love this series, so go right ahead.
Yeah, people who already know me are gonna be like, oh god, not that again. Because every year it's been the same. It's actually none other than Forza 5 Motorsports.
Yes.
And it was kind of interesting because they started out with a little history about anybody who knows Formula 1 or they started out with a little history about McLaren, and I'm like, is this what I think it is? And I was constantly wondering during the whole trailer if they actually added McLaren cars. They didn't say anything about that actually.
No.
But I'm like, hey, what do I care? They have the Chevys in there, so whatever.
That's all you care about.
This was presented by Dan Greenwald, sorry. Actually. What do we need to say about this?
They actually
A lot.
introduced a lot of different things about this title.
Yeah.
The big one they really focused on, and probably the thing that I'm most excited about, is how they implement real human activity AI in their in your games. So basically, from what I understand, like, you don't even have to race, but like this AI will basically take what you would do in a race and basically copies it to like your own strategies. So it's not like a computer AI, it's like your AI.
Pretty much. They used this catchphrase during, they shattered your expectations with cloud. They kept bringing up this cloud through some of their games. And basically, you have a drive-atar, that's what they call
Yeah,
it.
that's right, drive-atar.
And so the AI, as Slim said, it's not gonna drive like computers. It's gonna drive like people. It's gonna make mistakes. It's like real human behavior copied, and it learns from you, like from the way you drive. So you have always basically up-to-date competition, and it's always a challenge, basically.
And another thing that really took me by surprise is that apparently whenever your Xbox is off, or whenever you're off Xbox Live or something, your actual drive-atar will continue to participate in like online races with other racers, and as you get in those races, you'll get a lot more experience or skills or whatever they call it. And so yeah, you don't even have to be playing the game, and the game itself will continue to develop for you. So I was really impressed by that. It kind of gives it an Animal Crossing vibe with the whole how time passes.
Yeah, but except better.
Except better. Yeah.
It's also this is one other title that comes out at launch, and it looked, as always, very freaking realistic. There's honestly no game that looks more realistic than Forza 5, really.
I agree.
It looked like they really went into a warehouse, a really good-looking warehouse, with the cars there, and they took actual footage.
Yeah.
With a camera, a high-definition camera, and I'm like, man.
I know, they look really, really impressive. You could see reflections off of the cars. It's really cool.
No clipping textures, right?
No clipping at all, no.
It was really cool. I'm really impressed. I know a lot of people give Microsoft a lot of shit and stuff because, you know, they don't make games anymore, quote unquote, and they go into all these specifics and they go overboard with everything. But honestly, I really dig this whole, hey, your drive-atar is gonna learn more stuff, and your enemies are gonna behave like actual people, not just like computer, because that's if you've played a racing game ever, you know the frustration, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. I like it.
I know. I was really impressed.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Any more gushing about Forza?
Except the fact that once I get an Xbox One, that's probably going to be my first title. No, that's all I have to say. So
I'll pick the Chevy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So we had a little. Well, it's not like an intermission, but we had a little bit of a talk after that.
Yeah.
With this guy Phil Harrison. He was basically telling about how Xbox is working with a lot of indie developers. He said they have they're working with they have been working with 200 plus indie developers, and they've brought out 400 plus games, and how they keep looking for more indie developers, and how they, really go out there to make cool games and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. And shortly after that, they actually announced Minecraft Xbox One Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Which, not surprising.
Not surprising, but hey, I think it's a good move, so.
Yeah, it's good for people who play it. I don't play it.
Yes.
For health reasons.
For health reasons, she does not play Minecraft. I wouldn't say it's my kind of game either, so. But still, there's, like they said, like 6 billion people play the game every day, so I can definitely understand why they would take advantage of that cash cow.
Yeah. Well, for anybody who likes Minecraft or any of those games, it's probably going to be heaven, so.
Yeah. So, Minecraft, Xbox One Edition.
Yep. So, next we had Sam Lake, another Xbox One exclusive title. It's called Quantum Break.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned something about it being a TV show.
Yeah.
However, I can't really confirm that right now because I don't know of a TV show called Quantum Break. It could be though.
It sounds familiar, so it might be a TV show.
Sounds familiar. If anybody wants to leave a comment about that.
Yeah.
From what I understood, it kind of reminded us both actually of the Walking Dead game, because the choices you make apparently influence the game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. And in the trailer, they showed this explosion that was frozen, and these two detectives, or whatever the hell they were, went in and were unfreezing this woman who was about to get her face blown off.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to look at because it makes me wonder if that's how the game is. Like you let's say freeze stuff that happens, and you rescue people or fix stuff up, or before anything happens.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. They didn't really show much about the whole the choices you make
thing,
but I guess they can't really show that until you play it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm assuming y'all don't want to spoil anything.
That too, of course.
That'd be boring.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks interesting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to say because again, they didn't show a whole lot. They just showed those two detectives going in there, saving that woman, and
fun times for all.
Pretty much, I guess. Whoops. So then we had Swery65, another indie team, and they showed a game called D4.
You sunk my battleship.
I what?
Go on.
Anyway, so it kind of reminded me of cell shading look because it had those thick black outlines. Kind of interesting, but I don't know. I can't say a whole lot.
Yeah, they only showed like a 20-second clip almost. They
Pretty
didn't really
much.
show. It actually reminded me of No More Heroes on the Wii, like that kind of cell shading effect you talked about.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to tie that together with the whole choices thing you make a little bit. I don't know if it was the exact same or if they were talking about that, but we don't really know much anyway. They just kind of showed that short clip and basically ended it there.
Also, just for an info, all the trailers that are available, I'm probably going to link them anyways down here, and so people can actually look at them and maybe make their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Ideas and thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. Oh, the next one is actually a pretty cool one.
Yeah, we were both on the edge of our seats during this next showcase.
So, Dave McCarthy showed a game title called Project Spark.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the least I can say is it was really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much next to that Forza 5 thing with the intelligent AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, I need to be cautious now here, but quote-unquote a game-making title. Like, you can make a game in that game, basically.
Mm-hmm. It's a game within a game. Gameception.
Yeah, and it's voice-controlled. It was completely voice-controlled. And you can make terrains and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was in real time. They showed it in real time, and there was no delay whatsoever, even though they gave commands like very, very quickly. You can even change the daytime. So, for example, he said he made like a mountain terrain.
Yeah.
And he said that he wanted it to be like that in that time, and then the shading changed and the darkness of the environment, obviously, because it literally changed. And apparently, you can pretty much make anything. So first he made like a very rough landscape, like mountains and jungle and whatnot, and then he actually went, like he zoomed in pretty much, and then he made more details, like I want a lake here, and I wanted this and that here, blah blah. And at one point there was a rock next to his character, and he was like, well, everything in this game has a brain, and let's pick this rock for example. He wanted to make it a little, almost like a pet, quote unquote pet.
Yeah.
But he just showed like very basic things because he didn't really go into it and gave it actual behavior. He did, however, add a function that makes the rock follow you, so it's kind of like a pet. He didn't do anything else though, but again, he just wanted to show general overview.
Yeah.
And later on, he friggin' upgraded that rock to a friggin' huge gosh darn golem thingy. My god, because he made enemies like orcs or goblins.
Yeah.
And then he upgraded his rock, like just with a voice command, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was really friggin' like impressive, because apparently you can also have buddies of yours come in to help you. If you know Iceman from the cartoons, who rides on his ice beam, that's kind of how it was. His buddies were riding in on a like an earth kind of trail thing. If you can imagine it. Anyways, it was really, really impressive, especially because you can basically upload your levels, and then somebody else can take it and remix it or expand it or whatever the hell, and there was literally no delay.
Yeah, there really wasn't. Like, the people who were commentating over it, they were just, like, playing it straight through, and they were like, okay, well, while we're fighting off these goblins, let's make the goblins fly. Or, okay, we're going to use this fire attack right now that's going to just freaking turn the ground into a giant pit of lava, and it's just real time to the extreme, and it was really cool. I was really impressed. I'm honestly excited to see what more can come from this title, because apparently you can do anything. You're god of video game making almost. And
the cool thing is that this is completely 3D, so, well, I guess RPG Maker and Game Maker have a lot of competition now.
Yeah, I can definitely say that.
It was pretty cool. I was really impressed. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with how fluid it worked.
I know. That's what really got me. It's just like, oh, I'm going to do this. Okay, well, here you go. Let's do this. And that's cool. That's really cool.
In the end, that friggin' pet rock that turned into a huge goblin thing, or a golem thing, ended up friggin' beating up those orcs or whatever the hell they were.
I know. Cool. That's really awesome. This is really what you should aim for when making a game. Something this unique, and something that really pushes the boundaries in a lot of different ways. And
this is why I'm usually like, I know a lot of people, we said that earlier, a lot of people give Microsoft a lot of shit because, you know, oh, you should focus on making games, not just some blah, whatever. But honestly, personally, I'm really impressed with something like that because they're trying to go in kind of a different way. I mean, neither Nintendo nor Sony has anything like this, nor are they ever going to have anything like this, not anytime soon anyway. Pretty
much not. Like, if they do, they're much watered down versions, like Scribble Knots on Nintendo, and I can't think of any examples for Sony, but yeah, like Okami. But yeah, like definitely, like they really push the boundaries. And one thing we didn't say is at the very beginning of the conference, they mentioned this year is all about games. And
they actually stuck with it.
They stuck with it. It's been all about games.
Yeah, there was no, like, what they did last year when a lot of people were angry because they focused a lot on their multimedia at home stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
I personally didn't mind that, but a lot of people were angry.
And then the year before that, everyone felt they spent too much time on the Kinect, and you know,
it was really good.
It was all about the games.
Yep. So we had after that we had Mark Whitten, who talked about Xbox Live. So this was like a little Xbox Live segment, I guess. And they mentioned SmartGlass Devices.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically adds additional features or functions to games. For example, they picked up Ryse again, so one of the titles they presented. And they showed that with this glass device, you can have a SmartGlass device, you can have like a timeline, a real-time timeline. While you play through the game. You can see like a progress bar. And the cool thing is that you can exchange with other people online. For example, they can leave specific game hints in specific places that you can pick up and look at. It was pretty impressive and pretty interesting. They didn't show a lot. Yeah. But they kind of brought the idea across pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, they did.
So.
And I'm actually one of those stat junkies where like I like to compare my progress with other friends and see, oh, I'm doing better than them, or I have more achievements than them. I like that kind of thing. It's nothing big, but you know, it's a fun little feature to keep track of.
Yeah, because she showed it was a chick. She showed how you can compare stats with your friends and whatnot on one page, like how far you are in this game, whatever. And they also have a partnership with Twitch. So you can live stream what you're doing, like what you're playing. And there's also stuff like a built-in, it's kind of like an editing program where you can basically record parts of your game and add a few cool effects. They used Killer Instinct.
They used Killer Instinct for that.
And they like basically made a little clip of when that chick made a specifically good hit on the enemy, and she added a little effect so it looks like a really nice, I don't know, like I'm not sure what word to use here. It's like almost an end combo. It almost looked like an end combo because of the effects that you can use in that program. It's pretty cool. It's you can just make those clips and you can upload them. So it was pretty cool. They did specifically mention making walkthroughs with commentary. I'm assuming that was a little nudge to our Let's Players.
Let's Plays of the future on Microsoft Smart Glass.
Pretty much. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, really.
So it was pretty cool. You almost have to see that for yourself. It's kind of hard to just explain it in words.
But yeah, video sharing, uploading, Twitch streaming. I mean, that's really cool.
Yep. They also mentioned that there's a bunch of new live features. So, for example, there was apparently a limit of 100 friends.
Yeah.
They apparently took that off. So, woohoo.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any more Microsoft points, and instead there's going to be local currency.
I like that.
There's a lot of cool features to that. And it looked interesting.
Very interesting.
Again, I personally don't have Xbox or Xbox Live, but it looked interesting even for me. I was impressed.
Yeah. Well, I'll be taking all advantage of all those features just for you. So.
All right. So that was the little life segment here.
Yeah.
Then we had Crimson Dragon. Another game. Yeah. But it didn't really show a lot.
They didn't show a lot. They mentioned something about it being made by the creators of Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is an older PlayStation 2 game or PlayStation game or something. But yeah, they didn't really show a whole lot about it.
Not really.
Just you riding on dragons shooting things, basically. That's what it was.
Shocker, shooter.
A dragon shooter.
Yay! Yeah, well, not much to say here.
Yeah.
Not worth to spending more time on this.
Yeah.
Especially with the next upcoming title. So we had Josh Bridge and Mike Jones presenting Dead Rising 3. Gasp!
Zombies! Walkers!
Gasp! They said there's a rich open world with no loading times. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it needs a lot of resources.
Mm-hmm.
And anything and everything is a weapon. And you can combine stuff as you pretty much want. They made that weird sledge saw.
Yeah, a combination of a sledgehammer and a saw.
Sledge saw.
And it was pretty damn effective. It killed and opened up zombies and split them up in half, so.
Pretty much. It was really interesting. There was lots of zombies everywhere. You
Yeah.
had to, somehow make it through with some weapons or sometimes with cars.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not just you just drive through the zombies with cars. Sometimes they get stuck on your roof and they'd start bashing in the windows and try to kill you. That was pretty interesting because most games just, hey, you have a car,
you're invincible.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yeah.
much. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine it comes out this holiday.
Yeah.
So, pretty soon.
Look forward to that. It's
Pretty soon.
not long after the launch.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're actually gonna mention the launch and all that stuff in the end, so. Okay. Then we had John Mame.
Yeah.
Mame, I don't know.
Mama.
He said Mamais or something.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's from CD Projekt Red. They said there was a multi-region open world. There was pretty much more than 100 hours of gameplay. And you also can use voice commands via Kinect. They didn't focus too much on that, but I'm assuming it's just a little addition.
Yeah.
Actually, they said you can open your inventory with that and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It has SmartGlass support, SmartGlass Device, and in the trailer they actually said it's a dynamic and tactical combat, and they also mentioned it's the last part, so maybe this is the last part in the series. They mentioned something along the lines of that. I don't have the exact quote, but it makes me think it might be the last part in the series.
Oh no, the end of Witcher. And I'll probably do something else with it.
Probably. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so much for The Witcher. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then we had Patrick Söderlund, who came up and the first thing he said is, "This is a game with Frostbite 3 engine," and I'm like, oh, yeah, that again. It's a game by EA, so probably gonna mention this during the EA part 2.
Yeah.
And it's a dice game, and it's Battlefield 4 Second Assault.
Yeah.
I made the joke after the end of the trailer that this is not Battlefield 4, it's more like Battleship 4.
Yeah. They were on a boat the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much it's like a shooter on a ship.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. Pretty much. It was just like, yeah, okay, so you're on this friggin' ship and then you're on boats and you're shooting and stuff. So this is not Battlefield 3, it's Battleship. Or 4, sorry.
Yeah, Battleship 4.
They had a few technical issues anyways first before they could start the trailer. At first they almost didn't show it.
Oh right, yeah, they had technical issues. And...
I'm not against shooters or anything, but the only difference from what I could tell anyways was that it's on boats and ships.
And you control the ships and fire with them too.
Yeah, so basically the summary would be generic shooter number 79,835.
Yeah. I have big problems with the first-person shooter genre, and the reasons are basically what she just said. It's always just seems so generic to me, and
it's always the same, right?
It's always the same. I don't know. Like, I'm sure that people who have those games, they enjoy them, they have fun with them in every installment, but they just don't look that appealing to me.
It's basically like if you're into shooters, you're probably gonna buy it, but if you haven't really had much to do with shooters, you're not gonna be compelled to buy it.
Yeah.
Pretty
much, yeah.
They should finally bring out those clown shooting guns.
Yes.
Like clown launchers, and then
launchers.
You launch clowns at people, and they use their flowers filled with seltzer water and blow your face off. There you go.
Yes.
Microsoft, take that. Anyway, make a game of it. Make it happen. Well, then we had Phil Spencer coming back. He was on stage before, and he showed a game called Blow. Yes. We didn't really say a lot or show a lot. Well, both.
Yeah.
But my first reaction was kind of like, is it just me or is this small as shit? Because it was like this huge environment on the screen and then this little tiny like character, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Squint.
It almost looked like an RPG Maker game.
Yeah, but a bad one because the figurine was like a pixel big or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
It was weird, and it didn't have any sort of substance really. It just said, "What lies below," and then that was it.
That was the whole trailer, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what to think of that.
Yeah, me neither.
If anybody knows, feel free to leave a comment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they had a game from Black Tusk. And they showed a trailer, but there was no game name.
Maybe that's their hook. Maybe this is the game that has no name.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how do we even refer to this?
I don't know if we missed the name of the game, but they didn't really put any emphasis. They just said this is from Black Tusk, and then
They just basically played the trailer and that's it.
Yeah,
and they moved on.
it
Like,
was a short trailer too, so it's like, okay.
okay, we played it, so let's go home.
They mentioned something about like this being an indie company of like
Oh yeah.
people. I don't know. They just mentioned more about like the effort that this one company has gone to making software for Xbox One, and Black Tusk game, no name, the end.
That's all we can tell you.
Yeah.
If you want to check the trailer, there's not much to see.
Yeah.
Okay, and there was another title, which is probably very non-shocking here.
Yeah.
It's from 343 Industries, and we had this chick, actually. Was it?
Yeah.
Bonnie Ross. It's Halo.
Gasp.
Gasp. Who didn't
Halo.
see that one coming?
Oh my.
Actually, here's something funny happened while we watched the trailer. The beginning was like in this sand dune-like thing.
Yeah.
And you could just saw a shadow, and I just started singing the Lion King theme.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Yeah. Anyways, that one.
Yeah.
And ironically, a few seconds later into the trailer, there was a rock in the background that did look like Pride Rock, and we cracked up.
Yeah.
We really cracked up. I'm like, called it!
Lion King Halo Edition. I don't know.
It comes out in 2014.
Yeah.
And it's cloud computing. It has dedicated servers, and it's gonna be the first ever Halo that you can play at 60 frames per second. I think Slim just had a little orgasm here right now. Not really.
I'm not a Halo person. So.
Anyways, that's pretty much what they said about it. So, Halo, the Lion King times. Okay. Good.
With little elements of Aladdin mixed in there too.
Yeah, we could. Seriously, what the hell?
Halo Disney Edition.
And it had the bird of Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, it did, didn't
Right?
it? Yeah.
Almost.
Almost, yeah.
Alright, so we have one more last title. I can't speak.
Yeah,
Whatever.
words hard.
It's from Respawn Entertainment. And we had Vince Zampella, who introduced Titanfall.
Ooh.
So, at first it looked a little bit like Uncharted.
Yeah,
like,
it really did.
I'm like, is this Uncharted? Can it be? But then it turned into a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a loading screen which said waiting for players, which made me think it might be an online title. Probably,
yeah.
actually.
Oh, yeah, that's the case.
And it's pretty much, to sum it up, was just robot armor. It's pretty much like you jumped into those weird robots and you went around and shoot stuff. I'm not against shooter or anything, but again, it's just kind of like always kind of the same.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like the same thing for me.
Comes out in spring 2014. Again, if you're a shooter fan, you're probably gonna like it. If you're not really into shooters, you're probably not gonna care about it too much. So.
But that is the game they decided to close on.
Pretty much. So the only last thing to say is, the release date and the price for the Xbox One. They said they're gonna release it in 21 markets, like specific markets, and it's gonna be here's the shocker. It's gonna come out November 2013, and here's the shocker: $499 US, and because the whole, everything is kind of screwed up, it's also 499 euros. Yeah, that sucks.
Which is almost like $600 in American money.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
No, it is 600.
Oh, it is?
Pretty much.
God, that's...
It's times 1.3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I don't get about the whole European currency, like why they price so much for European markets.
Because they can afford it.
I guess, but that's just stupid.
It's dumb, but that's what they do over here.
Yeah, no wonder they don't sell as well internationally.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because they're like everybody's whole life savings to get one.
Yeah, they charge 1.3 times the price that you would have to pay in over there. So I'm like, well, shoot.
Yeah, that's...
No wonder.
That's unfortunate. Very.
Well, anyways, those were the details pretty much. I talked more because I had a more detailed list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I write down a lot, even the names of the people who spoke and whatnot.
I just wrote down the game names and anything particular that I liked, really. But
well, basically my list was 2 pages long and Slim's was
half of one.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much the Xbox conference. And well, feel free to leave any thoughts or whatever.
I guess that is something I want to ask. What did you think overall about the Xbox conference?
Personally, I've never been one of those people who had anything against Microsoft. I could always kind of see where they're coming from with their, last year it was the multimedia thing, and the year before it was Kinect. Sure, they did focus on it a bit too much, so this year was pretty good. They really focused on the games and just mentioned the rest, like, on the side.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. I haven't seen any of the other conferences yet. And then again, I don't need to. I don't like to really compare, really.
Yeah,
like
that's good. Point. You shouldn't compare.
There's no point, really. I liked it. It was impressive. I mean, obviously, Forza is there every year.
Yeah.
There's always a Halo title or some other shooter.
Yeah.
And the Project Spark was really cool. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. They showed some actually levels that other people made.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Curious to see how people are gonna take it. I feel like Microsoft got back in the game. No pun intended.
Literally,
right?
Yeah.
Because last year they were kind of a little off almost with the whole entertainment thing. As much as I personally didn't mind, but it's not about me really. It's about how the mass perceives it, right? So I think they made a good comeback.
Yeah. And as for my opinion, fun fact, I actually did get my Xbox 360 last year, and it wasn't really for any of the newer modern stuff because I wasn't a fan of Microsoft's last 2 E3 conferences. Last year, multimedia thing was cool, but I wasn't that interested in it. And then the year before that, they did Kinect, and I wasn't really interested in Kinect. So it was definitely refreshing to see them get in the games, and they really, really showed off the Xbox One and showed it off with justice. They did everything that they could have done right. I think they did they showed some new titles that looked awesome. They showed classic titles that still look awesome. So I was really impressed. I'm not going to give a rating or ranking or anything because I don't think that's necessary, but I was really impressed. I think Microsoft really brought it this year, and they did a great job. And I'm glad I actually did buy a 360, and I will probably buy a Xbox One now, maybe. So I don't know when, but we'll see what happens there later. So
When it's cheaper, probably.
when it's a lot cheaper
My
for sure.
God.
My God, $500. I'm not ready for that yet.
I don't know what comes with it. They didn't say, but
Yeah,
maybe if there's a bunch of games with it, then okay. But
I'll wait till I'm tapped out with 360 titles because I mainly just got it for older games that I've been interested in. So
you're right.
once I'm tapped off there, then I'll probably make the move. But
Pretty much.
yeah, so
Okay, anything else to say?
no, that's really about it. So
We covered it pretty well here in 50 minutes.
yeah, hey, 1 hour less than what they should. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
yeah.
Anyways, feel free to leave your comments and thoughts.
Mhm.
I'd be curious personally.
Yeah, me too.
And we're gonna link the trailers, or at least the ones available, in the video description. Possibly even the conference if you didn't see it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, that was our starter for E3, and we'll see you guys for
The next part.
the next parts. So
As always, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
bye.
Don't forget to leave your thoughts, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to not miss out on any more fun stuff. As always, thanks for your support. Bye, y'all.